Hey y'all! So, having just recently conquered a road trip from Florida to North Carolina and back again, I definitely learned a few things to help make the travel more manageable when it came to my chronic pain and my chronic illnesses. So I wanted to make a video sharing my road trip hacks. I want to mention that everybody's different when it comes to their health, and these tips and tricks worked for me personally, but results may vary, and that's okay. I'm just sharing in the hopes that this can help somebody else. And also, when it comes to road trips, I am a passenger, so these tips are from passenger perspective. I have driving restrictions, so I can't really contribute to the driving aspect of road trips. And Harlow wanted to come in the car with me for this part of the video. She's in the driver's seat. You gonna be our driver? You look so cute. All right, let's get started. I'll begin with our vehicle because there are features of this car that have definitely made travel a lot more comfortable for me. And I'm not saying y'all need to go buy a new car, but you know, maybe you're renting one for a holiday, or maybe in the future you'll be on the market for a new vehicle, and there are just maybe some things you want to keep in mind. So anyways, we bought this car used with 30,000 miles at the beginning of 2018. It is a 2015 Ford Explorer. Previously, we had a Toyota RAV4, which is a smaller SUV. And for me personally, I do much better in bigger vehicles. I am much more comfortable in the Explorer. In the RAV, I would just become car sick. My pain would get worse more quickly. So bigger vehicles are better for me. It's also a very good size for our family. I'm able to get in and out of it comfortably, but it's also big enough where it can hold all of our luggage if we're traveling. It can hold my wheelchair. Harlow is comfortable in the back. I have space up front. It can hold all my medical supplies. So good size for our family. And it also has remote start where we can start the car from our key, but it stays locked until we're ready to get in it. So with my heat intolerance, the car is already cooled down by the time we're leaving, and that's been a really big help. The AC works very well, and Harlow has her own AC in the back, which is nice. The seat is very adjustable. The headrest is adjustable. Of course, I can go all the way back and lay down. It has lumbar support here. I can scoot the seat forward, scoot it back, and I can also make it go up and down. One of my favorite features of this car is that it has heated seats. The two front seats can be heated, and I use heat to help with my chronic pain quite frequently, so the heated seats have been a game changer. I can last a little longer in the car, and I'm a little more comfortable, so that's been great. The heat has 3 levels. Personally, I think level 3 is like an inferno trying to burn my butt, so I only use the first 2 levels and they work fine. The heat does not reach all the way up here though. It's only here and on the seat. So I have this. So this is my favorite heating pad from Amazon. It's the 3rd one I've bought. I've got one in my bedroom, one in my living room, and now this one that I keep in the car. It comes with this nice case, and then separately I purchased this car converter from Amazon. It has 2 plugs and 4 USB units, and what I do is I just plug this into the car, and then I plug my heating pad into the converter, and I can use it on my neck, on my abdomen if I'm having abdominal pain, and this has been really helpful for car rides as well. Last few things I want to show y'all in the car include this. This is a seatbelt cover, which makes the seatbelt more comfortable, but I specifically use it for my central line or my feeding tube to make those areas more comfortable. I also keep this big carabiner clip in the car because if I'm running feeds or an infusion bag and I want to clip it to what do y'all call these? I call them oh crap handles. The handles in the car to keep my bags out of the way, make it more convenient. I can do so. And lastly, it's the garbage. I love this thing. It's a car garbage. You just put your trash in there. I use it just for like paper trash or empty saline flushes and stuff like that. And then to empty it, you just open it. It has a protective lining on the inside, and it secures into the car with this drawstring. And the inside is washable, so I love it. So that is everything in the car. Now I got a few more tips to share with y'all, but we're gonna go back in the house. Okay, more road trip hacks. So I definitely recommend wearing comfy clothes. For me personally, that means pajamas. And on the way back, I wore flamingo PJs. I wore them into wherever we happened to stop. I didn't care, you know, gas stations, restaurants. It didn't bother me because I was comfortable. If you're like me and you have trouble regulating your body temperature due to whatever it may be, for me it's dysautonomia, I like to bring a jacket or a sweater in the car and also a blanket. I have a weighted blanket that I really love, but I didn't think it would be practical for a road trip just because of the weight and then having to fold it up and the space it took up. Instead, I think my Brave Soul blanket would have been really great for the road trip. It is small and lightweight, but does a really good job of keeping me warm. It's a gauze blanket and I love it. But Soothing Weight, who made my weighted blanket, also gave me a lap blanket, which is like a smaller version. And I think this would have been good as well to put weight on my abdomen for abdominal pain or on my legs or wherever else. So I think I'll definitely be bringing these two items on whatever road trip we tackle next. Pillows. Bring pillows to prop yourself up, and also a cushion, a special cushion to sit on, because seats in the car don't always give a lot of support. For me personally, I choose to use my wheelchair cushion. It's removable. It's a Roho cushion and it gives a lot of support and helps with my hip pain. But there are lots of options online or in stores for supportive cushions. I also like to bring an eye mask for sleeping and peace, and headphones for the same reason. These are my favorite headphones that play music. They're called V-Moda headphones and they work really well. Snacks and drinks that are going to be beneficial to you. So for me, that would be water and salty snacks, and any medications that you may need, as well as additional tools. So for me, that would be like my neck brace that I use in the car as needed and as directed by my doctor. And all of these things that you're going to be needing and using frequently, try to keep them within reach and, you know, keep the car organized to your benefit. Lastly, make sure you plan your trip well, meaning know yourself, know your limits, know what times your body tends to function best. So for me personally, when it comes to my chronic pain, I tend to do better in the mornings, and as the day goes on, my pain gets worse. So to set myself up for success, we would leave earlier in the morning rather than later in the day. Also, depending on how long the trip is, ours was like anywhere from 10 to 12 hours, depending on traffic. We broke it up into 2 days, and we traveled further on the first day because I knew on the second day I would be in more pain from traveling the first day. We also stopped every few hours to get out and stretch our legs, and no matter how exhausted I was or how much pain I was in, I made my best attempt to get out of the car and move, even if it was just a little bit, because I think that was important. And if you're wondering why being in a car for an extended period of time makes these symptoms so much worse for me, honestly, I just refer to it as the nature of the beast. You know, it really derives from my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and the chronic pain from that condition. I really just can't get into a comfortable position for a long while, and possibly, you know, the vibrations from being on the road and in the car have something to do with it. But, you know, I do all of these things I've been mentioning to try and make it all more manageable and tolerable. In all honesty, no matter what, when I travel, when I take a road trip, I am going to experience repercussions. I'm going to flare to some degree. My pain is going to get worse, but I'm not going to stop living my life just because my body doesn't function quite right. You know, and I can approach things in the best, most practical way possible. And no, I can't always travel. It's not always feasible because my health may not be in the right place. But when it is, I'm going to take advantage and I'm going to set myself up for success. Yes, I may have to do things differently. There's more precautions that have to be taken. There's more planning to do, but different doesn't mean worse. You know, I'm still living a full and joyful life. Anyways, there y'all have it. Those are the road trip hacks I practiced and I learned on this past trip to and from North Carolina. If y'all have any travel hacks, please share them in the comments. I would love to hear them, and I think we can help each other by sharing our experiences. And to be honest, I am still not a fan of road trips, but I definitely found joy in the journey, and I'm proud of how I managed on that past big adventure. So with that, I will say goodbye, and thanks for joining us.